Here's the full, cinematic, dark fiction story in the exact structure and style you requested. "Get in the truck," my brother said, his voice shaking. "Leave everything." I didn't argue. Not yet. My daughter was asleep in my arms, her small body warm against me as I moved through the dark hallway. I didn't stop to grab clothes, not even her shoes. Just her blanket. Just her. The night outside was heavier than it should have been, like the air itself was hiding something. I laid her gently across the back seat and slid in behind the wheel. My brother climbed in, face pale, hands clenched. "Don't turn the headlights on," he whispered. I obeyed. Gravel crunched under the tires as I eased down the driveway, heart pounding against my ribs. Every sound was sharper, the creak of branches, the low hum of the engine. When we reached the street, my brother turned, finger trembling as he pointed back. "Look." I did, and I froze. The windows of my house glowed like eyes in the dark. Shadows moved inside, shapes that didn't belong. A silhouette at the kitchen table. Another figure crossing the hallway. My wife's laughter carried faintly through the night. But she wasn't alone. Someone was with her, and he was sitting in my chair. At first my mind rejected it. Maybe it was a neighbor, a friend, a harmless explanation. But I knew. In my bones, I knew. The way she leaned in too close, the tilt of her head when she laughed. I had seen that posture before, only with me. A sour taste spread in my mouth, metallic, bitter. I gripped the wheel tighter. My brother said nothing, but his silence was confirmation. He had seen it too. My daughter stirred in the back seat, whimpering in her sleep, oblivious to the fracture tearing through her father's chest. I whispered something meaningless to soothe her. Inside, I was splitting open. The woman I had built a life with, the mother of my child. She had carved out a secret place in our home and filled it with someone else. But I didn't speak it, not yet, because words would make it real. The next days I lived like a ghost, calm, measured, watching. She asked why I had driven off that night, why my brother looked rattled. I lied easily, said I thought I saw someone outside, a break-in scare, nothing more. She smiled, relieved, kissed my cheek as if nothing had shifted, but everything had shifted. I began collecting fragments, quietly. A second phone hidden in her bag. Texts erased but not thoroughly enough. Receipts for dinners I never attended. At night, while she slept, I scrolled through her history, her patterns. Each clue was small, almost meaningless in isolation, but together they built a map of betrayal. DNA testing kits arrived in discreet packaging. I swabbed my daughter's cheek while she napped, telling myself it was for closure, not paranoia. My brother's eyes darkened each time we spoke. He had known longer than I had. He had seen things, heard things. He had tried to protect me from the truth until it burst out that night in the glow of my own windows. I played the role of a husband still in love. I cooked, I laughed, I touched her shoulder as if nothing had cracked. But underneath, I was cataloging every detail, every move she made, every lie she told, every breath of his presence I could smell on her skin. The envelope arrived on a Thursday morning, plain, clinical. I opened it alone in the garage, the smell of oil and dust pressing around me. My hands didn't shake, my breathing didn't quicken, but my stomach hollowed out as I read the words. Probability of paternity, 0%. My daughter, my little girl, was not mine. I stared at the paper until the lines blurred. Then I folded it neatly, slid it back into the envelope, and tucked it into my jacket pocket. That night, I sat across from her at the kitchen table, the same table where he had sat, the same chair she had leaned toward. I placed the envelope between us. "What's this?" she asked, her voice light, curious. "Open it." She did, and the light drained from her face. Her lips parted, but no sound came. Her eyes searched mine, frantic, pleading for mercy, for denial, for some shred of the man she thought I still was. I gave her nothing. I already knew, I said softly. Her hands shook, the paper rattling like dry leaves. Tears welled in her eyes, but I didn't care. I had already buried the part of me that could feel for her. You could have told me, I continued. You could have given me the dignity of truth. Instead, you let me raise another man's child. You let me believe. She tried to reach across the table. I didn't move. Her hand hovered in the air, desperate, useless. I told the lawyer yesterday, I added. He'll serve you papers in the morning. Custody, property, everything you thought you hid from me, I've already arranged. You don't get to decide anymore. Her face collapsed in on itself, horror mixing with grief. For the first time, she realized the depth of what she had lost. Not just me, not just the illusion, but control. And that was my revenge. Not shouting, not breaking, just stripping her of the power she thought she held. Later that night, I sat alone in the truck, the same seat where it had begun, the same silence, but heavier now, final. My daughter, his daughter, slept inside the house. I felt no anger toward her. She was innocent. She would never know the truth. She didn't need to. The betrayal wasn't hers to bear. I lit a cigarette I didn't want, watched the smoke curl against the windshield. For the first time in weeks, the storm inside me stilled. Not because I was healed, not because I forgave, but because I had finished the game. And games only matter while they're being played. I exhaled, let the smoke vanish into the night, and whispered the only truth left. She was never mine.